Taehyung ran. He ran barefoot on cold marble floors, down the stairs, out of the mansion, into the night that swallowed Jungkook whole. "Jungkook!" he shouted, his voice tearing apart in the empty road. Jungkook, stop! But the world tilted. The drug Jenny had fed him still poisoned his blood, his vision blurred, his head pounding as memory slipped through his fingers like sand. He saw Jungkook's shadow at the end of the road. He chased it, fell, got up, ran again. His mind was a broken maze of guilt and rage, and something dangerously close to fear. "Please," he whispered hoarsely, stumbling into an alley. "Please don't leave." But Jungkook was gone, gone like he had never been real. Taehyung dropped to his knees on the concrete, hands trembling, breath erratic. His phone slipped from his grasp. He couldn't even remember when he'd last held Jungkook gently, only cruelty, only venom, only hate that had never truly been his own. Jungkook was gone, and for the first time since his parents' death, Taehyung felt something worse than hatred. He felt terror. If Jungkook had run, there was only one place left, Namjoon's house. Jungkook, a gentle, soft-hearted boy raised with deep love by his fathers. Jungkook believes in forever, loyalty, and love without conditions. His innocence becomes his greatest weakness when betrayal shatters his world. Kim Tae-hyung, a cold, powerful businessman shaped by control and emotional detachment, manipulated by deception, Taehyung becomes unknowingly cruel, believing lies fed to him. He married Jungkook to take revenge of his parents' death from Namjoon. Jenny, cold, manipulative, and dangerously intelligent, Jenny is obsessed with Taehyung and power. Namjoon was not expecting Taehyung. When the doorbell rang late that night, sharp and urgent, Namjoon frowned, setting aside the book in his hands. Jin looked up from the kitchen, unease already settling in his chest. "I'll get it," Namjoon said. The moment he opened the door, he froze. Taeyong stood there, disheveled, eyes bloodshot, breathing unevenly, rage and desperation tangled together in a way that made him unrecognizable. "Where is he?" Taehyung demanded. Namjoon's confusion was immediate. "Taehyung, what are you talking about? Where is Jungkook?" Jin rushed in from the kitchen, alarmed. The question shattered what little restraint Taehyung had left. The drugs twisted Namjoon's concern into something darker, something fake, a lie. Taehyung laughed bitterly. "Don't do that," he snapped. "Don't pretend. You've always been good at pretending." Namjoon stiffened. "What are you saying?" "You know exactly where he is," Taehyung hissed, stepping forward. "Just like you knew where my parents were the night they burned alive." Silence exploded in the room. Jin gasped. Namjoon went pale. "What did you just say?" Taehyung's eyes were wild now, pain bleeding through his anger. "You killed them, my parents. You set the fire. You took everything from me, and now you're acting like you don't even know their names?" Namjoon staggered back as if struck. "Their names?" he whispered. Taehyung faltered for half a second, confused. "Kim Hanyul and Park Min-seo," he said harshly. Namjoon's breath hitched. Namjoon staggered back, as if struck. Jin grabbed his arm. "Namjoon, those names." Namjoon's breath broke. "No," he whispered. "No, that's not possible." Namjoon sat down slowly, hands trembling. "I knew them," he said hoarsely. "They were my closest friends." Taehyung froze. "What?" "We studied together at university," Namjoon continued, voice shaking. We built our first business ideas together. They were family to me. Taehyung's rage faltered. Namjoon looked up, eyes red. The night of the fire, I was there. Taehyung lunged forward. So, you admit it? No, Namjoon shouted back. I was trying to save them. Silence crashed between them. Namjoon stood, pacing like a man, reliving a nightmare. Jack, he said slowly, our manager, your parents trusted him. Taehyung's heart pounded. Jack was drowning in debt. Namjoon continued. He insured the factory secretly. He set the fire for money. He locked the doors. Taehyung's ears rang. I arrived when the flames had already spread, Namjoon said, voice breaking. Namjoon covered his face. I couldn't reach them. The roof collapsed. The room echoed with grief. I testified against Jack, Namjoon whispered. But he twisted the truth against me. Taeyong stumbled back. Jack, Janie's father. Jenny's face flashed in his mind. Her whispers, her lies. You didn't kill them, Taeyong said hollowly. No, Namjoon replied softly. I tried to search their son, but I was unable to find him. And I promised myself if I ever met their child, I'd protect him with my life. And if I had known you were their son. Taeyong's knees gave out. He dropped to the floor. I destroyed Jungkook, he whispered. I destroyed the one person who loved me. Taehyung collapsed to his knees. I didn't know, he sobbed. I swear, I didn't know. Namjoon closed his eyes. Namjoon looked down at him, eyes burning with pain and restrained fury. Jungkook, where is he? What you did to him? If my son is harmed because of you, Namjoon said coldly, you will beg him for forgiveness every day for the rest of your life. And even then, you may not deserve it. Taehyung broke down completely, and somewhere far away, Jungkook slept unaware that the monster who broke him had just learnt the truth. The mansion welcomed Taehyung like a tomb. Every light was on, yet the place felt dead silent, hollow. Taehyung walked in slowly. His eyes were cold, now not drugged, not confused, clear. Deadly clear. Jenny was in the living room, lounging as if she owned the place, a glass of wine in her hand. She looked up and smiled. You're back early, she said lazily. Did you find your little husband? Taeyong didn't answer. He crossed the room in 3 strides and slapped the glass from her hand. It shattered against the wall. Jenny screamed. Before she could react, his hand closed around her throat, not tight enough to kill, but tight enough to remind her who held power now. You lied to me about everything, he said calmly. Jenny laughed nervously. They, listen, you made me hurt him, Taehyung continued, eyes dark as voids. You made me believe lies. Taehyung, wait. He didn't. You turned my grief into a weapon. You knew exactly what you were doing, he whispered. Didn't you? Her eyes widened, but then she laughed. Oh, Tay, she mocked. You finally figured it out. 2 men appeared behind her, gripping her arms before she could scream. Jack was already there, tied to a chair, sweating, pale. The basement lights flickered on, casting long shadows across concrete walls that had never heard mercy. Taehyung stood between them, hands in his pockets, posture relaxed. You ruined my life, he said, voice eerily calm. You killed my parents for money. Then you raised your daughter to destroy me from the inside. Tae, listen to me. You don't understand. Don't speak, Taeyang said. His voice was calm. That frightened her more than shouting ever could. He stopped in front of them, hands in his pockets, eyes fixed on Jenny. Don't speak, Taehyung said. His voice was calm. That frightened her more than shouting ever could. He stopped in front of them, hands in his pockets, eyes fixed on Jenny. The guards stepped forward. What followed was not loud, not dramatic, just consequences. Hours later, Jenny was on her knees, mascara streaked, voice shaking. You think you're innocent? She screamed. You used him. You enjoyed breaking Jungkook. Taehyung crouched in front of her. He said quietly, I will carry that forever. Jenny laughed hysterically. Then carry this too, she hissed. Taehyung stilled. He was pregnant. The world stopped. What? Taehyung whispered. Jungkook, Jenny said, smiling through tears. He was carrying your child. Then carry this too, she hissed. Taehyung stilled. He was pregnant. The world stopped. What? Taehyung whispered. Jungkook, Jenny said, smiling through tears. He was carrying your child. I found out before he escaped. He begged the doctor to hide it from you. Taehyung's vision blurred, not from drugs this time, but from tears he didn't remember allowing. He was scared of you, she continued softly. Scared you'd kill the baby. Scared you'd hurt it like you hurt him. Taehyung staggered back. Images flooded his mind, Jungkook fainting, clutching his stomach, trembling in fear. His knees hit the concrete. I, his voice broke. This can't be true. Jenny's laughter echoed. I was going to get rid of it. Jenny shrugged. Once he escaped or died, it didn't matter. I was going to marry you anyway. He stepped back, signaling to the guards. This ends tonight, he said quietly, not with mercy. As the doors closed behind him, Jenny screamed his name, but Taehyung didn't turn around. He walked up the stairs alone, each step heavier than the last. Because now, revenge no longer satisfied him. Now, only one thing remained: finding Jungkook, begging for forgiveness, and protecting the child he had almost destroyed. He walked into the bedroom, Jungkook's room, sat on the bed, and for the first time since childhood, Kim Taehyung cried without restrained hands, covering his face, shoulders shaking violently. I hurt you, he whispered into the silence. And I hurt our child. There was no punishment crueler than regret, so deep it felt like death.